How important was it that you guys closed this season, the regular season, off the right way?
It was big. We don't play for like 9 days or something, so it was important to get a good game under our belt. They've been playing great basketball, so it was a good test for us. And now we get to rest a little. We've earned it, and then get back to it.
What was it like for you? We've been talking about this atmosphere all year long.
Yeah.
Crowd all into it, MVP chants at the end.
Yeah, it was really cool. We've got the greatest fans, and I feel like they really rocked it tonight. And it's like they're prepping for playoffs as well. So it was exciting to see it. Packed house, loud. It was great.
You aware of the 50, 40, 90?
I am. Everybody tells me about it, so I'm glad it's over with. Yeah, it's something that, I try not to pay attention to numbers and just play my game. But, the way that our team plays offense kind of makes it easy. We really free one another up, we space the floor. Everybody's so unselfish, so this is another team honor to me.
So lastly, going into the postseason, obviously we're celebrating the moment.
Yeah.
Still a big job ahead.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the team's focus is looking at the road ahead?
Yeah, I think the focus is for sure there. We know how hard it is when you get to the playoffs, and we know that everything you've done up to this point, of course it matters because you want to get home court. Right. But when playoffs start, it's a whole new season, so we're ready to attack it.
How important was it for you guys to close the season off strongly at home?
It was very important. We've been having a great season. It's all about getting this last win and just giving some momentum going into the playoffs.
We talked about this environment, y'all's first year with this crowd. They were swag surfing at one point. The whole building. How weird are you guys when you guys see that?
It's
the whole building.
It was a beautiful thing. I know I stopped. I had to say, wow, this is really happening. It was really nice seeing the fans just really into it. It's for the culture. So, it feels good to be in a new home. It feels good to have the best fans in the league.
And lastly, the MVP chance for later or year. What has she meant to you guys this year?
She's amazing. She's always been amazing. This season, she's brung 110% every night. She deserves it. She's the MVP of this league.
Lastly, we talked about the atmosphere tonight. Like Elena said, they're kind of prepping for the playoffs. How many more notches do you think they can hit for you guys? Because, opponents have to come in this building.
Right. It's close. I feel like we could get even more louder. And I think it's going to show in the playoffs like it did last year.
21, I think 9 tonight?
It's 24 now.
24 now? 24. I'm so sorry. All right. So with the spacing you guys have, I think, try to keep track all night. You guys had 3 big lineups on the floor, all night. What does that do to teams?
It gives us options, and it kind of puts teams in the weird position, with matchups and stuff. So, a lot of times they come down cross match, and it kind of opens the floor for us, to get those open looks because teams don't know who to help off of when we have so many weapons out there.
Very last question, as you know, you guys been talking about running it back since the beginning of the season. Remember the quote you gave me at the beginning of the year, off camera, it's go time now.
It's go time. It's been go time from the beginning, but we just gotta take it one day at a time, one game at a time, one possession at a time.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of The Focus TV. We got Octavia White here tonight, Cardell Dudley. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. We have quite a bit to discuss. So much has happened, as always, between the 7 days that we see you all. Where should we start? I guess with the Washington Mystics, the #1 seed of this year's WNBA playoffs. But, they had I don't want to say formality, but they had to close the regular season with their regular season finale this past Sunday. They beat the Sky 100-86. Before I share some franchise and individual milestones, Cardell, just your thoughts from that win.
To me, it was just a I look at it as like a thank you from both sides, the team and the fans. You know, from the Mystic side of it, it was a thank you as far as they locked up home court. They're in the playoffs. They could have easily got their, you know, start on getting some rest and just sat all their key players and just played the reserves, the players that don't really get a lot of minutes every night, and just let them play. And, you know, it kind of took the night off or whatnot, but they didn't. They came out there with the same sense of urgency that they've displayed all season. They came out there with the same brand of outstanding, efficient, unselfish basketball, you know, pretty much led from start to finish. And they were up so big, they got a chance to, the starters and, you know, 6th, 7th woman, they got a chance to just sit in the fourth and soak in the appreciation from the fans for all the hard work that they've put in throughout the season. They have a record-breaking season. Pretty much Deladon pretty much got the MVP already at the crib. It's just we waiting on it to make it official. You know, the improvement with Cloud and Atkins, Ariel Powell's emergence, Shatori got better, Tiana Hawkins, Meesman being in the fold or whatnot. That's just what I look at it from their aspect. And then the fans, think about it, it's the opening day for the NFL. Could have been at home.
Yep.
All the local teams played, Ravens, Washington, went up. No, they came out, sold out the arena, brought the same energy that they've always brought. You know, you saw the energy with the wave. Everybody was in unison. Everybody got up at the end, was doing the wave, the chance for MVP for Deladon at the end. It was just a beautiful scene, and I feel like a scene that both sides deserve. And like Deladon said, you know, it gave you chills. But that was just my take from it. Obviously, Deladon was just outstanding. She was just Deladon, you know. I know when you brought up early in the season, do you feel like you mastered the game? She kind of smirked at it. You never, I get what she's saying. You never completely mastered the game, but you know what we've seen throughout the season, she's pretty damn close. The game is slow to her. It's like she out there, everybody moving in slow motion, and she just reacting and getting it done. You know, just to, you know, finish the season shooting 51% from the field, 43% from three, and crazy 97.4% from the line. You only missed 3 free throws the whole season. Like, that's impossible. Yeah.
Like
114 to 117.
Yeah.
She shot 97.4% from the free throw line, only missed 3 free throws the entire season.
That's crazy.
You can't do that in the gym by yourself. And she did it with the lights on, inside out play, getting hit, got a nose broke, went to go, you know what I'm saying, getting the mask knocked off after she broke a nose. You would think, oh, Hermione, like, I know I can't do that. I'm not even gonna sit up here in front of everybody, you know, dude. No, I'm not even gonna look, get a good 80. Good 80 to 85.
Hey, 3.
That's the best you
For
can
a
get.
whole season?
For a whole season. That's just that's incredible. Her level of efficiency and becoming the first woman in WNBA history to join the 50-40-90 club. Something where that's just the standard for efficiency scoring the ball. Where only a handful of players have ever did that. That's just a testament to her greatness. And then the thing that has been getting overlooked about her game that I was proud to see, and one that Tabart challenged her on from day one as soon as she got to DC, was her defense.
Yeah.
It was one play, a lot of people might have missed it, where I think Cloud got hung up when Quigley came baseline to jump out for a three-pointer for a corner 3. Well, Deladon saw she got hung up, and she immediately jumped out, denied it, because Stephanie Dolan was about to throw it. It was a wide open 3. All she had to do was knock it down. And Deladon flashed, denied the ball, and Dolan had to gather herself to stop from traveling, and it disrupted the whole thing. And doing that allowed Cloud, and it's not just Deladon, but their team defense. Yes. Sanders saw that Deladon hopped down on her, which left her man open for a quick second. Sanders dropped down off of Dawson, knowing she's not a three-point shooter, willing three-point shooter, dropped down on who Deladon was guarding, which I think was Endora at the time. Yep. And then Cloud went and got on Stephanie Dawson, and then as she passed the ball back out to Vandersloot, then they relocated, got back on their man and everything, and that saved the possession. Those are the things most fans don't pick up, you know what I'm saying? But those are the things that help you win championships. And the fact that they, like I said, they had to lock that, they were still paying attention to detail like that, that's just something you just gotta, respect and applaud. So, like Cloud said, it's 0-0 now. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, and just to run down, I know some of these are on screen, just to run down some of these franchise milestones. Franchise record for 26 wins, franchise record, single season. 14 home wins is a record. 12 road wins, best road team in the league Yet they still found it important to make sure that everything goes through DC, through this trip. Almost every other team in the league has been wildly inconsistent on the road, outside of the Washington Mystics. They also set a franchise record for points scored this season, 3,035. They averaged 89.3 points a game, the highest single average in team history. They scored 100.6 times this year. All right? 6 times they hit triple digits. Natasha Cloud, we mentioned when she broke the franchise record for assists earlier this year, I think when she got to like 170. At this moment, she's at 190. That's 7 more than Nikki Teasley had. And that's for, it's 190 assists. We talk about how well this team moves the ball. Obviously, more than just Natasha. Both her and Christy Tolliver became the first pair of teammates in WNBA history to each average 5 assists per game, which is remarkable. We're talking about how much they move the ball, 46.9% from the floor. It's been a joy to watch them play, and then only 11.8 turnovers a game.
That's Cloud, man. Like, just moving the ball, being fit. Like I said, man, it's just, if you appreciate basketball and the fundamentals, you appreciate what you saw from the Mystics all season. That was the applause they got. That's not your average applause you get. You know, that was something special. So, and the fact that I love the fact that Shep was there, the GM for the Wizards, and P.I.T.S was there from the go-go. Like, they like, yo, we gotta step our game because right now they carrying the basketball side of the thing. It's like the Mystics. I mean, just being real, like it's the Mystics and everybody else. They running that building, so and they should. They're the ones contenders, so you gotta respect it and everything. So, John Thompson and JT3, he was there. I love it, but if I'm the Mystics, you get your rest, but it's back in kill mode when you get back because now I'm on some Moses Malone.
Yep.
3-3. I use like 4-4-4 and 3-3. We just gonna sweep all this, get it over with.
6 games lie between them and their title. That's
3-3.
literally it. And also, just to throw this out there too, if Emma Meesman didn't miss as many games, they would have had 2 players that hit 50, 40, 90 this year.
Yeah.
It's just to throw some context.
And what if Delanon they get hurt early this season when they lost those few games? They might have broke the WNBA single season record. The Mercury got 29 wins. They could have easily got 30. They had 8 losses. So. And
lastly, before we move on, Aerial Powers. We've talked about her several times this year, especially the work she put in on her jumper. 42 threes this year.
Yeah, she was scorching, but she put work in.
Yep.
She always working. First one out.
The work. Tiana Hawkins set a personal high, 296 points this year. And then, when you're coming off the bench, that's tough. All right, so we got the playoff bracket. This is what's happening. I know the playoffs start tomorrow, I believe. First 2 rounds, single elimination. We got Minnesota and Seattle, then we got Phoenix and Chicago. The winner there, they reseed each round, but the 2 teams that are waiting for the winners of those games are Las Vegas Aces and the Los Angeles Sparks. After that, we get to where the teams that earn the double bye are. That's where you have DC and Connecticut waiting for who comes out that first grouping. We look forward to see what's happening. Next week, we will not be here because the Mystics will host their first home game. So that's next Tuesday and next Thursday, right at the ESA. That's their semifinal matchup. We'll find out what they're playing. So, start watching now to see who the Mystics may be playing next week. All right, Cardell, I know you wanted to talk about these regular season awards and whatnot. Go ahead.
It's only right, man. So, the awards about to come out soon enough. All league, rookie of the year, MVP, all that. You just want to get ahead and give our own. So I'm going to start with mine. Obviously, MVP, I'm going with Lena Deladon. She pretty much had a flawless season. The only thing you can kind of look at is she missed games because she had a broken nose. That's how flawless she was all season. Nothing actually on the court you can point to. I know Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Mike Sabal. Just the level of dominance. I know my man from the Sky had a great season, being a rookie coach, taking them from, shaky start to where they made the playoffs. But the level of dominance from start to finish, especially coming off, getting swept in the finals where they could have easily been, friction and stuff like that. People now want to listen, I believe. Seamlessly adding Emma back into the fold where it was like how she's going to fit. Other players getting better and still finding a way to get them minutes and just make the whole thing work, man. And then they improve, and not just. And we knew Emma was going to help offensively, but they improved in every facet. Come on, man. You got to give him his props. It's no-brainer to me. He should be Coach of the Year. Obviously, Rookie of the Year, I'm going to Feezy Collier. The best, I understand Ogunbowale scored a lot, but Collier is the best all-around rookie in the league. And me, it's not just about the numbers, it's if your numbers equate to wins.
Yep.
And they won games, and replacing Maya Moore, that's pressure as hell. One, you getting drafted high, that's pressure. Then you go on to pretty much the dynasty for this current era, that's another pressure. And now you're replacing one of the greatest players to ever play. And you can't make people forget her, obviously, but people not really tripping like you thought they would be. And she switched positions from college, being a power forward, moving to the wing. And like Sylvia Fowles said, we don't even view her as a rookie. We never viewed her as a rookie. We viewed her as one of us from day one. That's just a testament to how great she's been as a rookie. So I give her that. And obviously my first team going with Deladon, Brittany Griner, Nneka Ogwumike, Courtney Vandersloot, and Jonquil Jones.
Okay. Octavia, you have one?
I do, and I always love when I match you guys. It makes me feel like I paid attention. Because literally everything you said is everything I have. Deladon, I just feel like 50, 40, 90, that should be the only thing you really need to hear when it comes down to who's going to be the MVP of the WNBA this year. It's a no-brainer. I agree as well, like you said, with Mike Thibault, to come off of the season they had last year with the disappointment and to still go back into this season, like you said, get Emma into the fold and still have to put the team together. They did lose some players that they felt like they probably would have wanted to keep, down the line, but it just didn't work out that way. And to still regroup everybody to come back and have a season like this where they broke so many records and did so much, and now they're 6 games away from winning their first ever finals championship. So hopefully they're able to get that done, just like you said, Nafisha Collier. To me, it's a no-brainer as well, to be able to come in as a rookie and produce that way. And just like you said with Sylvia Fowles, having somebody tell you off the, we don't look at her as a rookie. She's just there's always that rookie complex. You're a rookie, let me teach you this, let me show you this. But to have that respect for her off Bucks is that's definitely something to look forward to as a player. And yeah, I'm on board with everybody else as well as far as the first team. I feel like they all had a great season. Like you said, Brittany Griner definitely too. I definitely think she's a shock of the WNBA, like you said. She moves and she does whatever she wants. Hopefully she's back next year and for years to come. But yeah, I'm on board with everything.
All right, so I think it's Elena, coach of the year. I went with Thibault too. And I know this wasn't on the list. I gave him coach and executive. And the reason being that he wears both hats. And again, to get swept, right? To have no letdown or whatever this year outside of injuries, honestly, is ridiculous. You moved on from players that helped get you to the place you were last year. We're seeing it's not like they were bad players, but to hit on every move you made once you move those players, you have to give credit. Everyone was like, what the heck are you doing? Who was Ariel Atkins last year? For anyone to say otherwise, it's a lie. Outside of Tina Thompson knew Ariel Atkins. She knew what they were getting, right? But for the general consensus for the media with the WNBA, a lot of people were shocked that Ariel Atkins was the number 7th pick. She gets here, we see who she is. She makes second team all defense last year. She led them in scoring in a couple games in their finals run as a rookie. We see what she does this year. She gets better. Cardell, I love you brought up development. Aerial Powers, Dallas, didn't know what to do with that. She gets here and turns into a vital piece here. So many things she can do. We talk about Collier, the different ways she can affect the game. Aerial Powers is affected. So her impact she impacts so many different areas for Washington, as several players do on this team. Segue into Nafisa, it's not a shock here. I think we all feel that way. It's quite simple. You got points and, to keep it real, sometimes largely inefficient points. It's another thing when you have to play winning basketball for a team, we talk about something like with the Spurs, right? That's not too much different than what the Lynx are on the WNBA.
Because, man, it's like when you're playing winning basketball, you may get a certain amount of shots, but you got to make those shots count. Yes. It's not when you're a bad team, I can start 0 for 10. I know I can shoot myself out of. Now, on a winning team, you go 0 for 10, you might be sitting. So you got to make them count. That's more pressure. And that's when fees is not the first option this year. first off just fouls and Sims, then her. So when she get her shot, she gotta make them count, and she's being efficient with it as a rookie. You gotta respect that. Like anybody will tell you that no basketball, especially scouts and stuff like that, they look at their efficiency. They don't look at the point per game. They be like, oh, he averaged 35%. I don't want to hit it. So
yeah, and this is why impacting the game so many different ways. Like you said, you don't end up in the playoffs. Yeah, it's in that first round or whatever. But again, if you told somebody at the beginning of the year that it's going to be Sylvia Fowles, Odyssey Sims, and them, because Simone Augustus hasn't really played that much this year, right? You're missing Simone and Maya's gone. Someone would have loved to take that. Like, that's not a bad place to be.
Rebecca and Lindsay retired too.
Yes.
Four pretty much Hall
Brunson,
of Famers.
Lindsay,
But Simone was out, but 4 Hall of Famers were missing this season for the most part. And y'all still back in the playoff. Come on.
And they lost their second round pick, who was another player that could impact things as well as Jessica Shepard. I mean, you got to give credit where it's due. I think the only difference I had on my first team was Natasha Howard. I had Elena, Jonquel, Brittany, Courtney Vandersloot, and Natasha Howard. But we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, talk a little Terps. Octavia, I know, can't wait to hear your very petty NFL segment. Since all your division teams played each other, I believe.
Yeah, that's how the NFC is starting off this year, I guess.
Like back-to-back weeks, right? Fun times. Twitter should be fun. We'll be right back. You're watching Focus TV. Welcome back to the Focus TV. All right, the Maryland Terrapins, man. I'm going to fall back, Cardell. I know you're enjoying watching a team that you root for do what they're doing. So go ahead, man. Game 2, week 2 in the Loxley era. Y'all take it away.
I mean, being there, it was amazing. From the game last week where they played Howard and it was a blowout, even in the press conference, Loxley said, the biggest jump that you can see for the team is between week 1 and week 2. And they even asked him that. So he was like, well, now we got to look between week 2 and week 3. He was trying to, keep himself humble, which he does really well, I will say. But they were just better than them almost everywhere. It was evident to see how fast they played and how tight they played. Everybody was where they were supposed to be. Josh Jackson was amazing, extending plays and leading them because you could see how much that he was involved in trying to make sure everybody was where they were supposed to be. I mean, he was 21 of 38, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, where Loxley did say that was one area that when it happened, he kind of was like, it was just a bad throw. And one thing that I really like about Loxley is he's not afraid to tell you these things, that was bad. It's no sugarcoating it. It's not, I could see what he was doing. No, it was a bad throw. And the fact that he holds them accountable and he talked about how much discipline that he instills for them, that this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it and you got to get on board. And it shows in how they play. There aren't many penalties. There aren't many issues that they have, and they have so many weapons. It's crazy as far as their running backs. There were 2 running backs that literally drove the team down for a field goal. They got all the yards. In the second half, Loxley, kind of pulled back a little bit and decided to run the ball. Jake Funk, he was everywhere on special teams as well. He made a lot of big plays on special teams, and he carried them down the field for 98 yards, or that might have been Leak. It was between Leak and Funk. Both of them had a drive where they drove them all the way down the field and literally just ran the ball down their throat, and Syracuse had no answer. The only bright spot for Syracuse, in my opinion, was their wide receiver, Tristan Jackson. He is special. If he can get open, he going to get open and he going to run. And you can see that where that might be the Achilles heel of Maryland is in their secondary. And Loxley even alluded to that as well, saying that he has to put them in better situations in practice so they can be prepared in games. So I expect to see that as the season goes on, because from week one, from what he wanted to implement, you can see it as it's going on. So I expect for that to happen as time goes on. But it was a great game, to be at. The crowd was crazy, like we was at the Howard game. You saw how empty it was. Syracuse game was packed from the bottom bowl to the top. It was a lot of Syracuse fans there. It was a lot of orange out there, and they shut them up real quick. It was nothing. It was like, I don't even think it was. Syracuse only scored one touchdown in the second half, and they're even there in the first half when they scored their second touchdown, their kicker missed the extra point. So you could tell they were in their head. They wasn't expecting to come in there and get no beating like that. And I feel like a lot of Maryland fans probably didn't expect it to be like this. You definitely thought that they would win, if you're a fan, of course. But to see how well they executed it throughout the whole game was just a sight. It was a great game for them.
Cardell?
I mean, it seemed to be the theme for so far, starting with the Mystics, going into Maryland football, is culture. And you see the culture change in Maryland. It's accountability. It's no shortcuts. It's from day one, as soon as Loxley got the job, it was like he went to work. Mm-hmm. He got on the recruiting shirt. I'm like, my man, you literally left the press conference and hopped on the plane with the recruit. And it seemed like that's exactly what he did. So he set the tone from day one. Like, we coming in here to work, and we going to be ready to play this season. Like, we ain't going to have like a couple years to adjust. And no, let's get this going right now. And you can tell by the type of the quality of transfers they came in from, and the programs they came in from. To me, they just sent the entire college football world a message, that there's something to deal with. I'm not going to obviously go crazy like, man, we're going to be in the playoff Final Four. It's a long way before that. But they're on it. They're on it. They got to knock off some powerhouse in the conference that's coming up, and that would be the telltale. But to beat their first-ranked opponent and beat them the way they did, you just have to tip your hat off to them. Syracuse came in with numerous All-Americans, preseason All-Americans on their defense, and they made them look like they were Howard. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Howard. And an All-American running back on offense, Maryland shut him down. You see what I'm saying? Mo Neal held him to 12 carries, 47 yards. I mean, tight end Tyler Mabry, the transfer from Buffalo, he said it afterwards, everything worked. We just have weapons everywhere. So it's like pick your poison. Mm-hmm. They literally set records in their first 2 weeks, school records. I mean, it's I don't know what to say. Like 6 touchdowns in the first half is a record. Only punted once. 42-13 lead at halftime. Most points scored against a Power 5 opponent in the first half since 2003. And it's the most in a half against a ranked opponent since 1984. And that's obviously the Boomer Esiason type days or whatever. It's just, you could just see the all-around effect that he has had. Obviously, the DB situation need to get addressed, but you also got throwing that they were playing without their linebacker from Clemson, Shaq Smith. You know what I'm saying? That's a key starter that they're going to need as they go along, and he obviously would help because maybe he gets to the quarterback and that wide receiver, he might be open when he ain't getting the ball. He on the ground. It's just little things like that. But I like how he's like, we still got things to do, right? And you only 2-0. It's a long season to go. But the start they're having, I mean, I haven't seen as much excitement since Fridge was there, and that's what we all been hoping to try to get back to. And it's one thing I love about Loxley, him being from the area. You take more pride in leading something where you're from than if you was somewhere else in Cali or Texas, or Alabama or whatnot. Not saying he ain't had the same attention to detail, but you take more pride in it because it's like, man, this is where I'm from. I got to represent. So y'all damn sure won't be on point. I'm getting somebody else quick. So. I love what I'm seeing, man. They just got to keep it going. Josh Jackson, I think he's definitely top 3 round, draft pick coming up because it's his efficiency, man. He don't get rattled. I saw that at Virginia Tech, but now he's just proving it. All he got to do is just be consistent against the big boys that's coming up, the Michigans, the Penn States, the Ohio States. He'll be just fine. So, I mean, shout out to them, man. All you can do is tip their hat, but, they play Temple this weekend. Temple undefeated. They got a solid quarterback up there. See what happens. Yeah,
it was all around great, and even just to kind of piggyback off of how efficient they were, Maryland was 11 for 15 in third downs in the first half, and third downs, 8 for 9 in the first half. So I mean, even when they got their backs against the wall, they zoned in and they got it done. Like it was a sight to see. It was really a really good game.
And I'm gonna shout out senior linebacker Keandre Jones.
Yeah, he
8
stepped in for him.
tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. He got it in. So, it's not just Shaq Smith. He more than stepped up. That's what I'm saying, man. They deep, and like I said, that front seven, they get to the quarterback. The DBs ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's what you count on. But nonetheless, man, it was a great win.
It's never a bad thing. You said culture.
Yeah, you can definitely see that.
Let's get to the pro level where some teams fail to have.
Hold on, real quick before we move on. Friendship Collegiate, they beat Ballou 41-14 to improve to 2-1 on the season. Big game today. They face H.D. Woodson this Saturday, 5 p.m. at RK Stadium. We will be there. These two teams are pretty much, Clemson, Alabama, DC football right now. So DC high school football. So if you can come out, check it out. It's a rivalry, and it's gonna be a thriller. So I'm excited to finally catch up with them this Saturday. Come through.
Miss Petty.
Oh, that's me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So the NFL season kicked off this week. Of course, there was Thursday night games, Sunday games, and Monday games. It was just a bevy of things across the league, period, before I get into the NFC East specifically. There were some great games, and then there were some really, really bad ones.
Come on, Flacco. Go ahead. I had to let that out. Had me up at 1 a.m. tripping, man. Let me go to sleep, man.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, I went to bed at halftime. I was like, I can't. But I mean, it was just, great football, even starting with the first Thursday night game, the Packers and the Bears. A lot of people had the Bears picked and didn't really go that well. Y'all keep forgetting about that man on the other side, Aaron Rodgers, him. Yeah, they won 10-3, but just some notable wins out the rest of the league. The Browns a lot of people had the Browns real high this year. It didn't work out too well so far. The Titans beat the Browns 43-13. It was bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Another one that was bad. The Ravens beat the Dolphins 59-10. Lamar Jackson, for all y'all who keep calling him a running back, he said pretty good for a running back, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, 5 touchdowns. Hollywood was out there. They were just hitting on all levels. The Vikings, went in there and roughed up the Falcons as well, 28-12. And, of course, we had some other closer games, the Bills and the Jets. The Bills pulled it out 17-16. Even the Rams and the Panthers. The Chiefs and the Jaguars. Nick Foles is out with a collarbone injury.
See.
Should have stayed. Like I'm playing this.
See, that's a
No, I really felt bad when that happened on his first touchdown play as the starting quarterback for the Jaguars. He got injured and he's out for a little while. But to me, the best game of the weekend, of the whole week, had to be Monday, the Saints and the Texans. That was just, I could watch games like that all day long, and just to see that happen. Okay. But to get to your NFC East, like you did say, there were division games for everybody this week. The Redskins played the Eagles and the Cowboys played the Giants. Starting with the Giants and the Cowboys. Giants are going to Giants. The Cowboys beat the Giants 35-17. Eli Manning was 30 of 44, 306 yards, 1 touchdown. They did also get rookie Daniel Jones in for a series. He was 3 of 4, 17 yards. Dak Prescott, on the other hand, was 25 of 32, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a 97.4 quarterback rating. To me, he was out there to prove all those people saying, like, I don't deserve this money. I need y'all to see it. I can't take this no more. What is happening?
You got to tell you all why.
We got a break coming up. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Saquon Barkley had 11 carries for 120 yards, and Ezekiel Elliott had 13 carries, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. Evan Ingram was, to me, the only bright spot really for the Giants. He had 11 receptions, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. On the other side, Dallas receiving core, Michael Gallup has 7 receptions for 158 yards. Amari Cooper, 6 receptions, 106 yards. Randall Cobb came back through, 4 receptions, 69 yards, and with a touchdown. Cooper had a touchdown. Cobb had a touchdown. Blake Jarwin, who is the tight end, who took Witten's place, but Witten is back. Both of them each got a touchdown as well. To me, like, the Giants started off well. Saquon looked good. He busted a great, run down the sideline. That was pretty much the highlights for the Giants this week. The Cowboys did whatever they wanted. Dak looked so efficient. He looked poised in the pocket. He looked like he knew where he wanted the ball to go, and his wide receivers stepped up and was there for him. Even Zeke, with only 3 days of practice, came in and was efficient. Y'all knew he was still going to get the ball. And they look good, and I hate to say it, but they look good.
Shout out to Kellen Moore, taking the play calling away from this one.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a normal offense.
Definitely, yeah.
But will the ego of said GM and owner get to them later on? That is the question. Dak passing the ball too much. I paid Zeke a lot of money. Y'all run the ball.
He's gonna end up paying Dak a lot of money too.
She was gonna say, hopefully so. That's what you see.
I hope it all get messed up. Yeah, everything. But
how about your Eagles, man?
That's what happened. For the Eagles played the Redskins. Eagles won 32. Redskins had 27. I'm not gonna lie. Beginning of the game, I was a little bit.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask.
I was a little bit like, what is going on?
How bothered were you when you look up and you're down 17?
I was very bothered.
Okay.
I'm like, what is happening? But
Wish you had Nate there.
no. No, I knew he was not the man for this job. But no, I was very, very concerned. The Redskins were up early in the first half, 17-0. And then even, went into halftime up 20-7. Case Keenum looked good.
Yeah.
When he was protected, he was hitting players. Vernon Davis, where did this old man come from? But he got hurt after that. He was real tired after that run.
First of all, relax. That's a Terp legend.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Relax.
He was tired after that joint, though.
Hey, man. If you play with the quarterbacks he been playing on, he ain't get reps either. You don't know what it feels like to catch. Go ahead, see. You about to make me see. You ain't gonna suck me into the petty dog.
Hey, he been through it a little bit. He's seen some things.
He has. But yeah, he stepped in like a veteran and he did what he had to do. He didn't give up on the play, and that's how they got their first touchdown of the day. To me, I think Donald Penn did a pretty good job replacing Trent Williams in the position, and he kind of fell off a little bit in the second half, but they all fell off in the second half, so you can't really hold that against him. The biggest story really coming out from this game, no AP. He was a healthy scratch, which me as an Eagles fan, I don't understand how you do that. I don't get it. AP torched us last year. As an old man, he torched us. And I get that Gruden wants to hand the reins over to Geis and the younger kids to get them in, but I just don't think he should have not been suited up. He got to at least suit up, because if he would have suited up, who knows what would have happened.
Listen, if they can beat him out fair and square in training camp, then they don't deserve to get the reps.
You're right. You are 100% correct.
Hard. It's really easy. That's what practice is for.
You are 100% right.
But to throw on top of that family has something with this word called ego. And but I'm good.
I don't understand, but fear not. I'm sure he will be back this week. Darius Geis is going to be out for some time with the MCL injury to the other knee, as he had an ACL injury last year. So I'm sure AP will be back in the lineup this week. No more healthy scratches for him. And he did say that was the first time in his 13-year career he's ever been a healthy scratch. If he wasn't playing, he was injured or something was going on. He's never been a healthy scratch. And a lot of vets in the locker room didn't like it. As they shouldn't. As they shouldn't. But on the other side, I feel like the Eagles started off very, very slow on both sides, on the offensive side as well as the defensive side. To me, it was kind of like it was their preseason, and preseason already ended, so we gotta speed this up. You could see the rust on Wentz, on Fletcher Cox didn't play all year. A lot of those players having those not having those reps in preseason, you could see. But once the second half kicked in, definitely saw the difference. You can see the adjustments that were made during halftime, which is why I love Doug Peterson as a coach. I feel like he takes things like that and he's able to implement them really, really quickly and get the thing updated and get it all, squared away and be like, this is what we need to do. Just for some stats, Case Keenum was 30 of 44, 380 yards. He did have 3 touchdowns. Carson Wentz was 28 of 39, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 93.2. Case was 73.5. Darius Geis had 10 carries, 18 yards. Chris Thompson, 3 carries, 10 yards. That is the epitome of their rushing attack this week. On the other side, I was very surprised that I feel like Darren Sproles got the bulk of the carries. I was very surprised about that. I thought he would, do the returning and, because last year since he wasn't playing, Corey Clement was doing a lot of the returning. But Darren Sproles came back in there. So I knew that was going to happen. I was very surprised that he got a bulk of the carry. I feel like as the game went on, you could see Miles Sanders starting to come again a little bit into his own as the rookie. But I definitely think they need to get Jordan Howard more into the mix, get him some more reps because the runs that he had, they were big runs. So I would like to see him play some more. And on the receiving thing, Terry McLaurin for the Redskins had 5 receptions, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. He looked like that he's going to be the guy that's going to be their number one. If he isn't already, he should be because they're, him. Paul Richardson had 4 receptions, 36 yards as well. Trey Quinn, 4 receptions, 1 touchdown. But I definitely think, McLaurin, he looks good. He looks like that he should have that job. On the other side, my man, D. Jack, I'm so glad he's back. 8 receptions, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he torched your man Dunbar all day. They got into a little squabble, it was real early too. Like it happened real fast. But I feel like as far as the receiving core for the Eagles, like they're very, very deep, and that's not me just being a fan. That's just looking at football. Deshaun Jackson 8 receptions, 154 yards. Zach Ertz 5 receptions, 54 yards. Alshon Jeffries 5 receptions, 49 yards. He had a touchdown. 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Because the second one was a backwards pass. Dallas Goedert 2 receptions. There's plenty, and then to even think about it, like the rookie J.J. Arcega-White didn't even really get into it, and I like him even early. So it's going to be a good season for all the NFC East teams. The Redskins will have another division game this week against the Cowboys, 1 o'clock, FedEx Field. If you into that, go have fun.
If you're into that,
yeah. If you want to go see the game, yeah.
Yo.
If you want to see the Cowboys win, I guess. Cowboys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's be real. I will eat crow if something crazy happens, but I don't foresee it at this point. The Eagles are going to take on the Falcons, and the Giants are going to take on the Bills. And we start all over this week. Thursday night, we got the Bucks and the Panthers this week. So I got my money on the Panthers, but
I'm glad you're not a rapper. You be sneaking. You ever heard the subliminal shots be crazy in rap? It's like, what?
Can you imagine the ad-libs
Man,
the
what?
whole way through?
I mean, I have thought about it,
Okay, you know what? 9-4-50. Jamal Hayward, 9-4-50, returns this week. This week, Jamal will be breaking down a body jab from the wing in the mid-post. Again, it's a body jab from the wing in the mid-post, followed by our second break. When we get back, we're going to do what we need to do to close this week's show. You're watching the Focus TV.
What's called a body jab. We're going to do it from the wing area as well as the mid-post area, and a couple different options that you can utilize off of the body jab. So from the wing area here, I'm going to throw the ball out. My pivot foot is going to be my left foot. So once I turn here to the inside, so I'm swinging over to the inside. Once I plant this right foot here, I shift my shoulders to the outside towards the baseline, and then I go middle. So, here, again, you have to move your upper body. I'm going to go to the other side now. Pivot foot's the right foot. So once I turn and move this left foot over, once I plant that left foot, shift my body to the inside, and then go towards the baseline. So here it is now. Same thing can be done from the mid-post. Once I turn and plant this right foot to the inside, shift body towards the baseline, go middle. Now when I turn towards the baseline, pivot foot's the right foot, Once I shift my left foot to the outside, all right, today we're gonna break down what's called a body jab. We're gonna do it from the wing area as well as the mid-post area, and a couple different options that you can utilize off of the body jab. So from the wing area here, I'm gonna throw the ball out. My pivot foot is gonna be my left foot. So once I turn here to the inside, so I'm swinging over to the inside. Once I plant this right foot here, I shift my shoulders to the outside towards the baseline, and then I go middle. So here, again, you have to move your upper body. You're gonna go to the other side now. Pivot foot's the right foot. So once I turn and move this left foot over, once I plant that left foot, shift my body to the inside, and then go towards the baseline. So here it is now. Same thing can be done from the mid post. Once I turn and plant this right foot to the inside, shift body towards the baseline, go middle. Now when I turn towards the baseline, pivot foot's the right foot. Once I shift my left foot to the outside,
Welcome back to the Focus TV. As always, shout out to Jamal Hayward and 9450. We truly appreciate him, doing what they do each and every week here on the Focus TV. All right, quick update for DC United. Told you guys they were off from MLS play, but last week they fell to a 1-1 draw in a friendly against visiting club Puebla. Quincy Amarikwa scored for the home side in the 4th minute. Diego Abela Calega provided the equalizer in the 75th minute. It was Wayne Rooney's first start since August 12th, which is when he received a red card in the MLS match. This week, DC United travels to Portland. They take on the Timbers at 3:30 Eastern. They got flex. It's a primetime game. Again, we talk about the Mystics just concluded the regular season. MLS is getting to that point. We're literally in the last little part of the home stretch. The Black and Red remain in 4th place, just 1 point above the New York Red Bulls. So again, it's a road game. Obviously, they would love all 3 points. But 1 point's not bad. But, again, it's a road game. If you stay with that top 4, it means you host a first-round playoff game, and that's quite important considering, hey, look, playing at home is important. I don't care what sport, what's going on. Home field advantage, home court advantage, home ice advantage, whatever it may be, it's quite important. All right, with the P.I.T.S League, the season concluded this weekend. So, quick shout-out to the champions. On the women's side of things, Bird Gang beat Team Anonymous 63-45. Nicoya Anderson had 21 points in the win. Kiana Tate had 13 points as well. For Team Anonymous, they were led by Jasmine Bird, 17 points. For the men's, Gifted Athletes beat Sam's Ballers 67-59. Shout out to Gifted Athletes. I believe it's their first year in the league, coming through and, getting the title. Securing the bag, if you will. KJ Arrington led the way with 19 points. Ed Dyson chipped in with 16. Mo Creek led Sam's Ballers with 23 points. And Isaac Thornton had 15. It was also, we talk about who our award winners were in the WNBA. If we had a say, the P.I.T.S League already decided, the votes were already in. This is who won. On the women's side, Nicoya Anderson of Bird Gang. She won MVP and she was the scoring champ. Sasha Orr, Defensive Player of the Year. She plays for Black Lives Matters. Raven Gerald, Team Anonymous. Raven Fox of Stay Strapped also won. And then Coach Asia from Team Anonymous won Coach of the Year. Men's awards winners, we had Travis Berry, MVP, Virginia Pride. He was also the scoring champ. So both MVPs ended up winning, leading the league in scoring in their respective divisions. Thomas Scott of Goon Milk was Defensive Player of the Year. And Glenn Andrews, X Factor of the Year. He plays for Core. KJ Arrington of Gifted Athletes. He's a champion now as well. Won Rookie of the Year. And then Justin Bino, Young Kings, Most Improved Player. Just let me get one thing on the women's side because I know I left something out, and I don't really like doing that. But Cardell, go ahead. I know you can lead us to rapid fire. I'm gonna interject as soon as I find it because I left somebody's name without a title.
Alrighty then. New Orleans Pelican point guard Lonzo Ball admits his first BBB shoots with the Lakers were awful and exploded on him. He said if you would literally go back to those summer league games and watch the games, he said my shoes exploded on me literally after every quarter. I had to replace my shoes after every quarter. I had to debut them because we were so far in the game as far as talking all that noise about the shoes. We went so far with it, it was like, cool, I can get a quarter in, but that's it. And it's crazy because right when I switched my shoes, all of a sudden, magically, I got good again. What are your thoughts about him admitting that?
Jesus Christ. First of all, I think he owes everybody a refund that bought those shoes for $495. And you knew the entire time that they were exploding on you. So what did you think was happening to everybody else? Like,
They wasn't wearing, you know that.
no, I mean, what they buy them for?
Just to say they got 'em.
I could do without, and I could keep my $500 in my pocket and buy some shoes that's not going to explode. I just think, I mean, I don't even know if I want to say I give him props for, owning up to it at this point. I would give him more props if he did something to rectify the situation. Like, what are you doing to rectify the situation at this point? To however many people bought them, because I don't know how many people bought them. The fact that these shoes were exploding on y'all, but y'all really thought that your price point was $495. It blows my mind, and what makes it worse is it's a knock to anybody else that's going to try to start their own stuff like this. People going to look sideways and they're like, I don't know. It's just a whole mess. They've been a mess since they came into the league. Him, his dad, his brothers. Him not so much. I can't really fault Lonzo for his family. He's a good player, and I can't really fault him for that, but I still kind of do because you allowed this stuff to happen, and you are the face of it, so you should have some type of say in it. So I just think that's trash all the way around.
All right, before I provide my answer for Raven Gerald and Raven Fox, wanted to make the distinction. Raven Gerald was the X Factor of the year, X Factor Player of the Year, and Raven Fox was the Rookie of the Year.
Gotcha.
Just to clear that up. Don't want to say their names without the awards that they won. As for the Ball family, shout out to Lonzo for, that whole little chapter. Obviously, it feels like things are a little bit different. He's his own man now. And as for those shoes, gotcha, I guess. I don't know what to tell you guys. Everyone went crazy. Everyone got mad at anybody who had an opposing view of that whole thing. And
Yeah. They owe them an apology, like you said, and a lot of people owe us an apology because we said it was BS from jump, and then we would call haters. I know who y'all are out there on Twitter. Y'all probably watching right now, but it wasn't to be hateful. I'm just from the old school where if you about that, you don't need to talk about it. Real movement silence. And the fact that nothing was proven yet, why you doing all this talking, you challenging established giants in the game, that makes no sense to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Let your play and action do all the talking. That would be the marketing, and then that's all you need. You know what I'm saying? And you saw the aftermath of that, what happened within their family structure and all that. Lonzo finally having to step to his father, which I also said will come, and be like, I gotta take control because it's some BS. And had you not been running your mouth and focusing and paying attention, we wouldn't have lost money, and all this crap wouldn't have happened. So it just and after this question, he also said he's looking at Adidas, signing with Adidas or Nike. Right now, he's just trying to figure it out. So it's funny how it's kind of like what Thanos said, out of all of this, you ended up coming back to me.
Where does your failures lead you?
Back to me. Exactly. Cold. It was a cold quote. So, but I just hope he finally just get to play ball. Like one thing I also said was like when his father fell back in the background, I feel like they will succeed. And I think with the talent they have in New Orleans, I think he has a shot to do what he need to do if he recovers from his injury fully. And his younger brother Melo's on his way. Finally get to be coached and stuff, so he got a shot. So we're gonna see how it goes. Obviously, we're gonna switch things out, go out to LA. Anthony Davis said LeBron James wants him to be the Lakers' offensive focal point, but Davis has big plans for defense. His quote is, I want to be Defensive Player of the Year. I think if I'm able to do that, I can help this team win. The offense end will come around, but defensively, I want to hold myself, teammates, including LeBron, accountable in order for us to take on the challenge of being the best we can defensively. In doing so, we have a good chance of winning every night. I want to make sure me and LeBron are on the all defensive team, and for me personally, I just want to be defensive player of the year. If we're able to hold teams under 100 points, which is probably unrealistic, but it should be our goal, I think we'll have a shot at winning the title. Thoughts?
I think that's the way to think. You know, like you said, like nobody can deny his offensive ability, but if you can't stop the other team from scoring, it don't matter. You know, so I definitely think that that's the right track, and I applaud him for being able to go back at LeBron and say, hey, yeah, that's cool and all, but this is what we really should be focusing on. And I applaud the fact that he included, like, I'm holding everybody accountable, including LeBron. You know, that's how it is. I mean, hopefully he's able to do that, and he's able to actually hold LeBron accountable and it to work. You know, because I feel like that's the issue sometimes, that LeBron is looked at as LeBron, you know, and a lot of people don't want to step to him. A lot of people don't want to step on his toes. But at the end of the day, you know, this is what needs to be done to get the job done. And I applaud him for having the balls to come out and say that and be like, no, we need to focus on defense. You know, offensively, you guys are talented. We know that. But what are you going to do in the defensive end? And it kind of sounds like, you know, LeBron trying to be like, yeah, bro, I'm not trying to keep running up and down these courts all day, so you're going in and score all the time.
For me, is a very interesting perspectives from both of them. Extremely interesting to me. For Anthony Davis, I like everything that you said. I'm also very interested to see if any and all of those things come to actual fruition.
True. Because
it's one thing to say those things. It's not that I don't believe him. It's getting those things to actually happen, in which I doubt for all parties. That's where I'm at. It's nothing to do with Anthony Davis. So yeah, I'm interested to see if it comes to fruition. And secondly, that's the attitude you better have. The other team in LA is not worried defensively in one iota. So
at all.
You got somebody trading on the beach in Tim's. They're not worried about defense. But go ahead.
Like you said, man, it's a wait and see approach. This also confirms that LeBron James haven't played defense in the last few years. Like we've been saying, we're not hating, we just speaking truth. But I mean, it's cool he said that, but it's a long season. We'll see if it follows through, because it seems everybody optimistic right now. It's a season coming, man. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't been in the seat. But he ain't been in the spotlight before. Yeah. And I'm not even just talking about a winning spotlight. I'm talking about the LeBron James spotlight, where if something go wrong, Anthony Davis, what's wrong with you?
It's gonna be his fault.
See, you ain't there yet. You gonna see. And that's what he got to get through. Now, him being a veteran, being as good as he is, I expect him to take it all in stride or whatever. But adversity comes for every team. You know what I'm saying? So what are you going to do then? And no disrespect, LeBron in the 17th season, he ain't trying to play no damn defense. Like, he ain't about to be chasing these dudes, man. Like, seriously, it's just reality. That's why he wants you to be the focal point. He's going to beeline those dudes to you to block the shot. And he's going to be looking to leak out and do what he does. So, it can wear you down, and he's not really trying to exert the energy. What he's trying to do is pace himself.
Yep.
Then in the postseason, he'll turn it on. That's just the facts. Oh, man. One last question to get to, because it's important in a way, but we all know about the drama that floated in Oakland between Antonio and Brown.
Yeah.
It's a two-part question. If you're the Patriots, would you have signed Antonio Brown, and do you agree that Antonio Brown's behavior was acceptable?
So I don't agree that his behavior was acceptable. And it seems like, and if I'm the Patriots, I do, because it seems, if I'm the Patriots, I do sign him, because it seems like that was their goal from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Reports come out that they had already offered to get him from the Steelers, and the Steelers didn't do it. It didn't go through. The deal didn't go through. So this was kind of like a roundabout way to still get what they wanted. Of course, all the reports are out there that they orchestrated this from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And these are reports coming from within the NFL, like not just people around the block saying, yeah, they probably just made this up. Like, these are apparently, sources are saying that this was orchestrated from the beginning. And even the fact that, apparently AB had some media consultant or some social media consultant helping him figure out the best way to get released from them. It's a lot going on with this situation. I feel like the Patriots would do it, because I feel like they think they're the team that can solve the problem of the quote-unquote diva player, or the player that has problems, and it's always something going on. They've done it for a while, bringing Josh Gordon back in, Randy Moss in the back, back in the old days, and everything like that. But I don't know how it's going to work out. I feel like with them, AB is really ball dominant just because he has to be involved. If he's not involved, he's going to throw a temper tantrum. And I feel like in the Patriots, they kind of play more team ball. And if one night, you're not getting as many looks as Josh Gordon or, somebody else, are you going to throw a fit or are you going to play with the team? So that's really what I'm looking to see. How much pull does Bill Belichick and Tom Brady really have, and how much respect do they think they can really garner from him? Because I think that's where it's going to come down to, if he's able to humble himself and, be able to play second fiddle, essentially, because every other team he's been on, he's been that guy. And it's like, now you're going to the team where there's plenty of guys, like, so how it's going to work out. But yeah, it's just a mess. So it's legit a telenovela like going on with this. I just can't keep up.
Yeah, his behavior, disgusting. The whole way around. It's not professional. If that's not where you wanted to be, there's a way to go about that. You could have just told Oakland off top, or even with the Steelers, like, cool, they're not going to trade you to New England.
But not to cut you off for both of y'all, but what do you think about our people kind of giving him a pass based on how he acted, because of they using the black card and stuff based on how,
people do that all the time, and it really bothers me. Like,
because we call them out.
It bothers me because to me, like how I am, I'm like I don't care what you look like. Wrong is wrong and right is right. And if, like, this is gonna be the dumbest example, but it makes so much sense. Me and my boyfriend go back and forth all the time about watching like low budget movies, and he'll say, you don't want to watch the low budget movie because the black people did it and it's low budget. I was like, no, I don't like low budget nothing. I don't care if it's white people, orange people, purple people. I was like, a production that's not put together well, no matter if it's black, white, orange, yellow, brown, whatever, I don't want to watch it. So it's not that I don't want to watch the black people. If the black people had a movie where the words were on time with the people talking and it made sense, I'm gonna watch it. But because I like to watch movies that make sense, I'm bougie, or I'm not here for our people. Like, that's not it. Right is right and wrong is wrong. It don't matter if you black or white. What he did was wrong. He's wrong as a black man. He's wrong as a man, period. It doesn't matter. And we as a people need to be the first people to tell him that. We don't need Sunday countdown or the people at Fox on Sunday. Like, I mean, when I watched it on Sunday, like, they were ripping him to shreds. They were like, he's a knucklehead, he's this, he's that, he's that. I feel like it's better coming from his own people. Like, somebody needs to go to him as a man and sit him down. Like, bro, you are tripping. And you are messing it up for people that are coming behind you. And you are messing it up with your talent. Like, you're so talented. To be out here doing stuff like this that don't need to be done is ridiculous. Like, they say how you gonna call the GM a cracker? Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real. Like, in a professional, like, it's football and y'all get rowdy and stuff like that, but it's still a business, and that's bad business.
People forget about professionalism. You saw a whole lot of dudes, especially dudes on the Summer League circuit. It's a new day. You can act like that. I was just like, cool. You go on your job on Monday, act like that, see what happens. Yeah, but you're not gonna put yourself in that situation. So you just talking, and then you see other pro athletes co-signing that joint or whatever like that. And I'm looking at y'all like, then why ain't y'all act like that yet?
Because they know better.
Exactly. So you full of it, man.
And that's the thing is we're just in this time where it's cool to like things from afar and be behind it when you know you wouldn't dare do it. You wouldn't remotely even think of it.
But why wouldn't you do it?
Because you know better.
You know it's wrong.
One, you know it's wrong. Two, you know the consequences that come with it, right? Mm-hmm. And then, for AB, and again, it's interesting to me where everyone's saying all these things. You're the same people who've been at Josh Gordon's neck for something that's like actually clinically he has wrong with him, correct? Mm-hmm. And no one has time for Josh Gordon taking the time to actually get better, right? Mm-hmm. It's how can you do those things? Because when someone's batting an addiction or anything else like that, you don't just fix it like this.
fix.
It ain't
Right?
an easy fix,
It's a
especially being in the
lifelong battle.
especially being in the spotlight with
Yeah,
it.
it's a lifelong battle.
So, and this is my thing is about him going to New England. I give Josh so much credit for last year going, hey, I'm in a better place. I ain't got this all the way under control. So before I go back down that place where it's more difficult to come back from, I'm going to go to rehab. I'm going to go away for a little bit. I'm going to get right. He's here to start this season. And another thing with Antonio Brown, even from the football standpoint, dude, that's Bill Belichick's building. They don't need you. Like, they have wanted and liked a lot of things from afar. Bill Belichick loved Chad Johnson, okay? Loved him, respected the heck out of Chad Johnson, who had none of the stuff that you bring to the table. Chad didn't last in New England just because New England's not for everybody. And that's with somebody who Belichick really respected. Yes, they like you and what you bring to the table, but understand that everything that they do from an offensive standpoint is to make things easier for Tom. One more person to worry about means that's one less free rusher. That's one more person you have to devote to coverage versus coming after, how old is Tom right now?
42, 41?
Your 42-year-old quarterback. Because obviously, who's not going to send pressure at a 42-year-old quarterback? But what keeps you from doing that? Oh, look, there's pressure. We saw that throw he made to Josh Gordon over the middle. Mm-hmm. Safety hit him, and he just ate the hit. Mm-hmm. Because dudes like that, you're not going to think about blitzing where he just ate the safety's hit. Mm-hmm. Safety ran 20 yards. I didn't feel it. Got up. Let's keep it moving. Joe Hayden, been a good corner, right, his entire life. Physical freak. Meet Josh Gordon. Shakes off Joe Hayden, walks into the end zone.
See you later.
They're not worried about you. The Patriot way, we've seen this time and time again, it's get down or lay down. And otherwise, you'll find yourself out the league. And I hope you understand that if this doesn't work, that's it.
I feel the same way. And it's so sad because he's so talented. That's what bothers me because, like, I'm like passionate about sports and I love it. And you love to see a freakishly athletic player like that do the things that he does, and for it to be all thrown away for character, for things that, like, you're a grown man who got kids, and this is how you out here acting.
You threw away $20 million over ego, and that's what's disgusting me. And a lot of people standing up for it, I just look at them funny. Like, all right, we have any little interaction where it might seep into business or something potentially, I can't even deal with you because you condoning this crap, and it hurts me because, like, I feel like a lot of youngers are looking at that thing. That's the way to go, and it's like, Slum, you gonna get your feelings hurt. You gonna mess up your life doing that. This is not the path, man. And since when it become the uncool thing to be unprofessional, man? It's cool. It's okay to be professional because you saw Julio go get a bigger bag. He got 64 guaranteed, and all he do is just put in work and be quiet. And not saying it's black people be quiet. That's not what I'm saying. He act like he got some sense. He's professional.
Dude, your man got an NBA contract in NFL. By knowing what his worth is, your game does all the talking. There's no need to.
Exactly. And
like,
that's
we
all.
know what you are.
Exactly. Then you gonna get what you ultimately deserve. I just feel like we're in an entitled area where everybody feels like everything's supposed to go their way and they shouldn't be held accountable for nothing. Mm-hmm. It's always a justification for them acting out of character, acting a fool and stuff like that. And it's just like, nah, man. There are rules and regulations just in life that you have to abide by. Otherwise, it would be chaos. I'll put it on me. I would love nothing more than to go upside people's heads, man. Some of these people, they be talking reckless on Twitter and social media like they think it's sweet, letting these little cameras and microphones fool them. I would love nothing more than to do that. But I'm going to go to jail for assault. I won't be around to be a husband and be a father. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I have to think. You know what I mean? So, and if I do those things, then my wife, as she should, as a grown woman, should be considering divorce because she can't count on me. And I'm just making more drama for her and my kids. So with that being said, and even y'all, we got business dollars with the show and everything. I'm affecting y'all because I'm always in and out of jail, stuff like, some dumb stuff. You have to be accountable for your character and for your judgment and your actions. And it just seems like don't nobody want to be accountable for that, but they want everybody else to be held accountable for theirs when it's affecting them. And I'm just like, this, I can't get with this entitlement era. It eats at me like no end, man. And he just set a horrible example. Listen, man, when you get on Twitter, you got OJ saying, OJ Simpson talking about, I'm worried for AB. If that don't make you just, all right, I'm tripping, dog.
I mean, it should. Look,
OJ say my name. I'm like, look, I'm gonna take some time off. I'm gonna get some therapy. I'm gonna talk to my pastor.
But I'm dead serious.
He the last person I want to be like, yeah, dog, like I need help, because that's clear.
The reason, like, let that settle in.
Oh, that's true.
So man,
you know
it's just
like
But I'm just tired of us also using that black card, man. Like, man, nah, man, he's a brother. Look out for dog. You F up.
Your stupidity don't got no color.
Nah,
It ain't got no color at all.
It's just that simple. Like you guys hit the nail on the head. Accountability is accountability, and it's just that simple. And you should be held accountable. And then the other thing, sometimes when you act like that, you know, when you do things, you move in that fashion. You know, karma is karma.
Karma's real.
But we're going to see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Thank you guys for tuning in and your continued support. Obviously, WNBA playoffs. You get a chance, go get you a ticket or whatever you need to go do. Misty's got 2 home games. It's going to be wonderful. And, you know, more Maryland football. See if they can get to 3-0. DC United's back this week. So much. Thanks for watching on Focus TV.